Hey YouTubers, Mike Martin's here. Mike Martin's channel. Kind of in a teed off mood right now. And reading headlines such as these doesn't make things any better. Truly shocking. There are now 9,846 homeless people in Ireland. The number of homeless adults rose by 57 in May, which is the month we're in today, to 6,020. These 57 adults were all located in Dublin. So many disenfranchised, so many people fall through the cracks. Are these 9,846 people not using the programs in Ireland for homeless to help shelter people? Or is it there's 9,846 homeless people and the government doesn't care? And why am I saying the government's fault? There's always an alter power that controls everything. We're like, there's puppeteers that control everything up top. If there's lack of jobs in your country, it's your government's fault for not holding on to proper trade wars or creating infrastructure. If there's lack of jobs in your country and you're part of the EU, and the EU is telling you you can't produce, like, I'll give you an example. In Portugal is getting paid not to produce as much wine. They're getting paid not to produce oranges. They're getting paid not to produce and lay off people, basically, because other countries should be producing that stuff instead of your country. If your country's part of this grand scheme of being part of this great thing, then maybe it's best to gain total independence from the EU and independence from the UK. Because being part of the grander scheme of things, in my opinion, becomes a bigger problem. A way bigger problem. So 9,846 homeless people in Ireland. This is worse than the potato famine. The great Irish potato famine. This is worse. At least people had a home. They starved, but at least they weren't sleeping like this on the streets. The number of homeless people living in emergency accommodation in Ireland rose about 200 people last month. Emergency accommodation figures for May show that there are now collectively 9,846 people, homeless people, living in homeless shelters or hotels across Ireland. The number of homeless adults rose in 57 in May to 6,020. These 57 adults were all located in Dublin. There was also an increase of 12 families and 137 children in May. The number of homeless children in Ireland is now 3,826. Okay, so I'm not playing the angle. I'm not going to play the angle on let's get these people some homes. I'm not even going to play that angle. How's about let's get these people some good paying jobs? And stop selling your jobs overseas to the highest bidders. And stop selling your country out to the foreign bidders that come in and buy up your entire country. In Dublin, where the issue is by far the worst, the number of homeless families dropped by 14, by the number of children rose by 76. No families were removed from the figures of the so-called categorization issue, which has resulted in to date about 900 adults and children being removed from the monthly count. Housing Minister Eogan Murphy has said that families in these situations were in homes. This is despite criticism leveled by the Department of Opposition TDs, as well as charity officials, over the removal of families from the monthly figures. Dublin City Council Assistant Chief Executive Brendan Kenny has also said that these families were still homeless, despite being removed from the figures. So there's more that they're not telling us. Commenting on the figures, Mr. Murphy said that the increase in people in emergency accommodation is very disappointing. It's disgusting. but said that figures pointed to accommodation of the stabilization that had been seen in recent months. Family homelessness has been more part of pronounced problem in Dublin than in the rest of the country. So it is encouraging that the number of families accessing emergency accommodation in May fell, he said. The minister referenced 2 recently published homeless reports and said it would be bringing forward policy response based on them the matter of priority. I like how they like to word things to make it seem like they're getting this done, they're getting this taken care of. You want to start taking care of these things, close your goddamn border, protect your people, uphold your constitution, and start working on things to get you out of the UK, the EU, whatever you're part of. These bigger organizations are not there. Being part of the New World Order sounds like it's a great big thing. Everybody wants to be part of it. It looks like it's going to be great. There'll be festivals all over the world. No, that's not what it's about. He also said they would be holding Housing Summit next week on the 3rd of July with the heads of chief executives of each local authority, where they would discuss how to tackle the issue. You know what? Especially parents that have kids and stuff, to tackle this issue, I think they need to create, let's say 3,000 of these people are really willing to work, like really willing to work hard, to work on, making sidewalks, construction. Let's say they're really, really willing to work hard. Get those people to work, tax them on their labor, like most countries do, 20%. Tax them, just like they would if they were working anywhere else. And then for the other people, that tax can help offset and alleviate the other people that can't work, or are children that need to go to school, or they are elderly or feeble, and they're, it is an aging population. But if you did it like that, hey, maybe that's a way to tackle this problem. Last figures show are being discussed by Dale currently. Finland Fails children's spokesperson Anne Rabbit said that the number of homeless children in Ireland was wrong. Wrong is a nice word. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that a country that has so much good going for it at the same time, that has so much underlying problems that shouldn't even be happening. I never play politics on it, Minister. I don't criticize, but it is wrong. It is wrong, and I am not saying it solely lies to your door, she said. Sinn Féin housing spokesperson Ian O'Brien said that he was ashamed to be a member of the Dáil, and it was presiding over the single biggest rise in children homelessness on record. It's absolute preposterous what's happening. People are buying out. Foreign money's buying out what it can, whatever they can get across out of their countries, and buying up and parking it in politically stable countries, so their investments don't get lost. And it's disgusting. Are you telling me a country can create 3,000 position jobs to get these people working? You get them working, if you get them working in the private sector, in the public sector, not the private sector. Private sector, if they get them in the private sector, it's amazing. If you could get these people into 3,000 private sector jobs, okay, the public sector is crap. That means it's just another government wage going out. It doesn't mean anything. But in the private sector, somebody hires them to manage a property. Somebody hires some of these people to work landscaping. Some of these people get to work in construction, private companies. Then that's bang for the government's buck, and I don't know why they're not promoting proper job channels. You know what I'm saying? Latest figures. Here's the number of people. So here it is. So it started in 2014. which was a manageable, what, 2,200? That was pushing 9,000. And that 10,000, sorry. Very manageable at one point. Now, you got a stadium full of people. The number of people found sleeping rough in the Dublin region. Wow. Homeless figures rise by 2%, 137 children without a home. I just read this. There's Egon Murphy that I read. Homeless charity Inner City helps homeless. Said nearly 4,000 children are facing their summer holidays in emergency accommodation. 4,000 children. The future of the country. The future of the country has to be in... 4,000 kids is a lot. Has to be thrown into emergency accommodation. I am absolutely just... It says right here, the minister is clearly not being realistic in regarding homeless figures. We have further increased with 137 children entering the homelessness last month. And you know what? Remember I've been talking to you guys about Ireland housing for the longest time? What's happening in Dublin and Belfast? Irish house prices so volatile, roller coaster. Ireland housing and poor transport. Irish house prices sky high. Let's see if this thing opens. It's not opening. It says right here. Irish prices sky high due to finance and scarcity. And what do landlords do? Start hiking up the rent and throwing people on the street because the almighty dollars. What a salary will buy you a typical house around Ireland? I don't know why this computer is so slow. What a salary will buy you a typical house around Ireland? If you're not a professional earning more than 150,000 euros a year, you can forget about buying the typical house. Typical house! We're not talking about plantation. We're not talking about a manor. We're not talking about a mansion. We're not talking about an estate. We're not talking about a farm. Typical house. And if you're not earning more than 150 large in euros, you could forget about owning a typical house. So you have to go way out of the city into the country. With rising house prices continuing to stretch affordability, on the other hand, if you're working on a checkout or in a shop earning the minimum wage in the county like Logford or Rochamsted, provided you can save a deposit, you'll be able to purchase your own home. So outside of the major core cities where the youth should be and the older people should be out retiring in the southwest of Ireland or the Midwest of Ireland, no, it's not happening. Our survey on the salary required to buy a home across the country shows a single person living in a Logford needs a salary of 17,000 euros or 8,652 if they're part of a couple to purchase the typical or medium price home in the county. Someone in Blackrock, South County, Dublin, on the other hand, needs the earnings of staggering 165,000 euros a year. There is a huge movement. There's an exodus of people. There's the Prime Minister there of Ireland. These people are leaving Dublin right now. So there's a lot of people leaving Dublin and Belfast. And there's a huge exodus of people leaving because they can't afford the down payments of their Irish Times. Given the gravity of the economic slump, the mass exodus of young people leaving the country during this period was not surprising. The best are leaving. About 1.5 million people have left independent Ireland. And then deserted Ireland. Census. Census shows 1 in 3 people in Dublin every day work or... Well, this one looks good. Deserted Ireland. Census revealed. Huge swaths of the country are losing hundreds of thousands of people every day as they are sucked into cities to work and study. Startling figures since 2016 show that the scale of daily exodus from 2 out of the every 3 local authority areas to a lack of job and educational opportunities. Data published for the first time in Central Statistics shows 20 out of 31 council areas of fewer people present at the daytime compared with the evening. More than 44,000 people leave Cork County every day, and almost 1 in 6 in Meath, Methin. All the population across 20 local authority areas dropped by more than 260,000 people during the working day. In contrast, Dublin City daytime population increases almost 148,000 to more than 702,000. Increased numbers in the present height. Previous census figures showed that the massive commuting times faced by many workers, and the latest statistics reveal parts of the country that are being drained of their population during the daytime. So everyone's commuting to these bigger cities because they can't afford to live within those cities. Let's find how many empty homes. Oh, here we go. Over 10,000 contact new empty houses database with vacant property. Over 10,000 contact new empty houses database with the vacant property will offer homeless families for Dublin a chance for a house in rural areas. Okay, that's nice. In Dublin, 13 empty homes for every adult in homelessness. So for every person so they're averaging this out for every empty home, there's 13 adults that are homeless. So you have to multiply 9,846 by 13. They get really okay. So let's say 9,000. Because there's a lot of kids in there, so let's say 6,000. Sorry. Times 13 empty homes. That's about how many empty homes they're looking at. And don't be surprised. Go see how many empty homes San Diego has, LA County. Go see how many empty homes there are in Seattle. Go see how many empty homes there are in vacant homes. A part of the government is rebuilding Ireland action plan for housing and homelessness. There you go. Oh, here we go. 40,000 vacant residential units in Dublin City. So headline, 40,000 vacant residential units in Dublin City. So there's a lot of empty homes. I'm guessing what that number was according to what statistic was for every adult. So it's in around 40 to 60,000 empty units. So 40,000 times 3, that's 40, 120. And if you go back to the article I read about the people driving in, there's about 120,000 people driving in to Dublin daily. So if you multiply that by 3, you get your number, and that's roughly how many people have been displaced and have to leave the city and have to commute into the city on a daily basis. I'm really, really disgusted with what's happening here. It is truly shocking. It says right there, truly shocking. 9,846. This is sad. I don't even know what to say. Like, And this will get worse unless somebody gets elected that's going to fix this problem. A majority of the governments that are in place right now, some of them, like the New Zealand, province of Ontario, and well, it was ex-province of Ontario, not anymore. Everyone that's trying to get into power now are using the housing platform as their way to get their foot in the door in politics, because someone's got to step in and create jobs for these people. I'm not even saying free housing. I'm saying let's create jobs. Let's get those vacant home taxes out. I think that the government should strongly consider taxing vacant homes. So don't feel bad if you're watching this and you're a politician from Ireland. Look at this. Don't feel too bad. Like, don't freak out. Vacant homes are a global epidemic in Paris, and they're fighting it with 60% tax. Just throw a huge tax. You'll see them all go on the market for whatever they could sell them for, and then the Irish proper will have a chance to buy back their own country and move into all these vacant units. In 44,000 empty units in Dublin, that's disgusting. And that's not the 30 other thousand that are undercover. You know, the people like, oh yeah, I'll pick up my mail every day, make it look like I'm living here. You know, so don't feel so bad if you gotta have to do a vacant home tax. Let's say 4% of the property value on a yearly basis, which could be paid monthly. That vacant home tax could contribute towards building more facilities and creating jobs in the private sector that could hire more people, and thus taxing the common worker to create more revenue for the country, to allow more infrastructure and more housing for the people that are feeble, can't work, hurt, mental problems, opening maybe a few more mental facilities to help with people with so much mental illness happening. Tax the vacant homes, Ireland. Start doing your job. Politicians, pull up your socks and look sharp. Start taking care of the Irish proper. Comment below, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.